Welcome to Tales from the Skeletour, a For the Love of Ghost podcast series. Hello and welcome to another Tales from the Skeletour with more today with me, Mama E, and my Elfie.
With me, Natalie, and my birdie.
And if our guest would like to introduce himself, we have today.
I'm Aaron Lea, and I don't have a buddy. I have no friends. I don't have an elf on the shelf, Papa. But so I have no friends here. But that's me. So yeah, and
We've
what
got
else should I
it
say?
for everybody.
Yeah, we do. These boys get everywhere. Trust me. Everywhere.
When did those guys come out?
Christmas last year, just before Christmas last year. Yeah,
it was really quick because even when these came to the Skeletour with us, and a few people were like, "Oh, did you make that yourself?" It's like, no, it's official merchandise.
Yeah.
it's official. They're expensive.
How much were those?
45 pounds. So what? 55.
50.
Yeah,
55 doll head. Yeah, they weren't
somewhere.
They were,
but
they weren't cheap, but they're worth every penny.
Well, they look nice and that's a really good mold, like a sculpture.
It's his best. I think it's his best face.
His best face, yeah.
You know, I miss illustrating that face a lot.
Talking of illustrating that face, I don't know whether you will have noticed the very obvious product placement that we have going on today.
Yes, and I can talk about that. Was the first that may have been that was the first time I did that version of the mask. And before then so when that version of the mask you're looking at right now, if you watch the first video, little episode they did when they're starting to roll out the new album and tour cycle, before they even announced the album, there was he's getting plastic surgery.
Yes.
Doom call.
And I had just entered the ghost world. I didn't know hang on, my Zoom is all messed up. All right. I just had entered the ghost world, so I didn't know about the legacy of anything. And so I didn't understand. I just didn't know. I was just inundated with all this information I was playing catch up on. And I remember I watched that, and it was like, he's like, I've had some plastic surgery, and I didn't understand at all what I'm looking at. And then when I start working on the initial stuff, I started noticing, and this has happened with actors before, when I'm working on likenesses, is I started noticing there was a difference in facial features of the mask, and realizing, oh my God, they changed the mask. And that was what was giving me so much problem. So if you look at the first leg of the Imperator, there's not the stuff I was given as reference might have been a work in progress. I don't know, but I just know that my likenesses were all off. And so I was just like, I'm just going to go with it, and as the tour progressed, I actually saw more of the mask and all the different, because they don't send me the mask. And what's funny is it was in the same experience. I'm not going to say who the actor is, but I remember doing a lot of work on this. It's not on my Instagram, I don't think, but I was doing a lot of work for this actor that's deceased now. He's old. It's okay. He died like in his 80s or 90s. And I remember, I'm trying to see how I can say this, because if I say too much, it's going to give away who he is.
I think I know who you're talking about.
You probably do, and I'll tell you after the show. But I remember I kept having the hardest time locking his features in. It just didn't make any sense. And I would just I would take a photo, and I would actually start tracing trying to figure out, what am I missing here? And I'm going through all these different, and then I talked to somebody in the inner circle, and they're like, oh, he's had plastic surgery.
Wow.
You're looking at his photos.
You
looking at his photos before that. And then since then, because I've done all these other actors' licenses or likenesses, I started to notice their face changed. Gosh dang it.
Yeah.
And then you got to decide
You really
which one's the essence. What is the nose? What is the chin that we know him by? And it's
Yeah.
not correct. And I remember, so I worked in ad agencies my entire life. Well, not my entire life. Well, when I was a baby, they were like putting me in a factory. But but the earlier days when I was working at these ad agencies and I would do all this Photoshop work, I always had some issues with cleaning people up because like, oh, there's a big conversation about like over Photoshopping, especially women
yeah.
Yeah.
and dudes. I mean, seriously, they do it just as much to dudes as well as the ladies as well, but it's they go a little harder on the ladies, I think. And I remember one of the photographers at the ad agency, I was talking to him about that, and he said, yeah, the way you need to approach it and think about it is this, is that um, that blemish on her face is not going to be there tomorrow. And your job is to capture the essence of her
Mhm.
face, not create a new face.
Yeah.
So find the flaws that are temporary, fix those.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
Oh.
don't
overfix
take
the
out like a
nose and stuff like
freckle.
that.
A freckle will always be there, but a spot won't. So,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
With
I
that
like that.
said, yeah, isn't it great? And ever since I heard the word essence, I use that all the time. My
Mm.
new word is nuance, but back then, up for the last 15, 20
Sure.
years, it's been essence.
I think
And
that's perfect.
the other thing also is so if you're listening, I'm from America, and so it's morning over here. But I'm a big morning person, and so I'm very talkative in the morning. But also, yeah. So what was I gonna say? The biggest thing
So are
I
we
always
all
yeah,
day.
I just talk to
yes, all day. You have me
you.
all day. And I'm also tiling a bathroom right now, so I have to take a break to do that. So, um, but the other thing is that the biggest thing I get requests for about fixing people's faces are not like the men, but it's the women who are getting their face fixed, or the showbiz moms. They'll come in and like, can you the weird
Can
the
you give me
weirdest request
cheekbones? I
was,
need
can you fix
cheekbones.
Yeah.
no, the
Cheekbones.
weirdest request was, can you fix her crotch? That was the weirdest
What?
request. And I know they're not going to watch this episode. So the weirdest thing was, and there's a lot, I've been doing this since like 2002. Only a portion of my work over the years is on my Instagram because I can't post it. It's not like,
Yeah.
it's like part of an ad
Yeah.
agency. I worked on a team. It's not the same. But the weirdest request was the mom said, fix her crotch. She's wearing jeans. And it's just like we want it more streamlined. And I'm thinking, oh no, I don't want to do
That's
this.
not how legs
But it
work.
is. And she was like 18 at the time. She was young. I mean, she's like 10 years younger than me, but it was still, I'm 29 at the time. She's 17 or 18. It just felt wrong. That was the
Yeah.
weirdest request I got. So
Yeah.
all right,
Wow.
talking.
Right.
I'll let you guys talk. So
We
I
just
just want you to give me cheekbones and maybe get rid of my double chin.
oh
Slim
God.
me.
I
Make
if
me a size
I
2.
me too. I would love yeah, I was the one talking about needing a new personal trainer also. So yeah.
which I can do.
So
Qualified one. I'm a qualified one. Honest.
Oh my God.
you said something really interesting there about finding the essence of the character and the essence of a person. So what would you say is the essence of, say, Papa 4? And then also going into your work with Papa 5 with Perpetua, how do you find the essence in a masked character?
Yeah, in a character. Yeah. That's
Okay. Let's talk about Papa 5
Yes,
first.
please.
Yes, please.
Because
Yeah. So, all right. So I will say I do miss the Papa 4 mask.
Mm.
And so I used all the references that they gave me, all the references just from Instagram, anything that I looked at, uh, and everything is just put together to get that. To get the essence of Papa 5 is to get the essence of Tobias. And
Mm.
it's most of oh, it's so hard because that makeup, he doesn't look like Tobias in it, except his nose.
The
And
Yeah.
no.
you've got to get the nose right. And I don't ever, it never shows up when I'm with the finished product because everything is so dark.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he has this vertical divot in his
Yeah.
nose. And there's a
Almost looks like
relationship.
a little love heart on the end there.
Yeah, it does. It's a
This
little
little
bitty
heart.
bump. It's kind of cute. It's a little
Yeah.
circle. And it's there and really I've never nailed it. And I will.
I
I'll say
will.
that.
I love that. I will. I just,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. As far as the Papa 4 mask, this was the biggest, as far as the essence is my job. It's not that anyone gave me this ruling, but my job was to make sure he doesn't look like the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I would be working on, and there's a couple of pieces that I'm like, it looks like the Joker. I think in the shirt you're wearing, he doesn't look like Papa 4 because I had seen he looks like the Joker to me in that one. And I love that one a lot for a couple of reasons though, but as far as likenesses go, it's totally off. But when that was made, he hadn't stepped foot on a stage yet.
No.
And
Yes.
I was still looking at the Rats video for
Oh,
reference.
yeah.
Oh, so you were looking at the cardinal. You weren't
Ordinal.
even looking at Papa.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
looking
So
at
the nose
that
is a lot sharper and the cheeks
a
are a lot.
lot sharper. And then I was looking at, I think, I don't know. I don't know what to say. There's so
And
much stuff
then
on
there's
some.
that bit in between. They had the rat paint still on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was just the stuff I was given. It hadn't nothing had come out yet, so I don't know how much was official. I didn't really have a whole lot of views of the mask. So why I like that one is besides it being, I think, the first official Papa 4 as we know him,
Hmm.
Hmm.
is and that one I was still struggling with also behind you. But the reason I like that is I leaned into he's one of my favorite. I wouldn't say he was one of my favorite artists, but I have so much respect for him. Is Derek Riggs? Do you know who that is?
Tonight, I recognize the name. Yeah.
Yeah, he did all the he still does all the Iron Maiden artwork. And as a kid growing up in the Bible Belt,
No.
um, I
Oh.
was from very yeah, and I was from a very I was originally from Texas. And you can kind of still hear it in my voice. Depending on what part of the world you live in, it's sometimes more pronounced.
Hmm.
In Texas, they say, well, you don't have a Texas accent. But elsewhere, I have a thick Texas accent. So, but I grew up in the Bible Belt, and this was during the Satanic Panic of the 80s. And Derek Riggs, I would go into the music. It was called mu Music Land. It was like an 80s staple in the malls of America back then in the 80s. And
Hmm.
I remember in the back they had these huge in light boxes. They were probably like 4 feet by 4 feet of the album, all these different albums that were popular at the time, and they were just like backlit, so they would be glowing, and the album would be
Oh,
blown up. But
wow.
at the back of Musicland was all the metal section, and this is during the Satanic Panic, and I would see those Derek Rigg. I didn't know who he was. I just saw that it's an Inside Out man because it's Eddie from. I don't know if you guys
Eddie.
listen to Iron
I love
Maiden, but
Eddie.
We
yeah,
Yeah.
love
it's
Eddie.
Eddie.
Eddie's
But
so
as a kid, it's just like, oh, this is the satanic stuff I was warned about. And I was so drawn to it because my parents like, don't go near that. It's gonna take your soul.
moth to a
But
flame.
yeah, but I'm just like, but I was so terrified of it and it stuck with me. And so the shirt, Natalie, that you're wearing is
Hmm.
or Ministry Minion. Sorry. So sorry. Are we
Imagine it.
going by our stage names or official name
You
or
can use
what?
my government name. Fine. You can use my
Government
government
name.
name. It's
Mine
fine.
still
It's fine.
says journey instead of Robert E. That's terrible. I'm never on his journey.
What I always say, and I stole this from Sam Jackson. Not like I know Samuel L. Jackson personally, but I stole it from the movie Jackie Brown, and he's trying to bust out Chris Tucker's character, or he's trying to get him
Yeah.
bail, and he goes his name's Beaumont, and Bell Bondsman. He says Max Cherry. I love Tarantino. He says Beaumont is that his first or last name? And Samuel L. Jackson goes, and that's his Christian name. And I love that line. But yeah, so the where was I at? We were talking
Eddie.
about that shirt.
We talked
Eddie,
about,
yeah.
getting
So
dragged into the satanic world because you're told not to.
yeah. So I when I did that shirt, I basically said, I this doesn't look like him. I'm just gonna make it feel Iron Maiden. And of all the stuff I've done, there's a lot of Iron Maiden influence, especially the Berlin art is a love letter to Mark of the Beast album cover. If you
Nice.
look at it, you can like, yeah, he was doing that, and I was leaning into that. So,
Is
but
that
that
your
shirt
was
you're
that
wearing,
your favorite one to do? Was the Berlin one?
Is
yeah,
that
that's my favorite one.
is that the
And then
one?
the Paris one is my second favorite. So,
This,
How did
oh.
sorry, Geraldine. What I wanted to ask was how did all that come about? Because there were so many. Because yours was obviously the first piece of artwork that we saw when the tour announcement was dropped in October of last year. It was your
yeah,
beautiful piece of art with that family
thank you.
portrait underneath it that came out, and we all sort of went, "Oh, this
Ooh.
is nice." And then as the tour gets announced and we start seeing the imagery from the tour, and then it was when we were in London that we saw your shirt, the London specific shirt.
No, that one was rushed.
I love that
That
one.
one was
So
stunning, and
good.
I'm still so bitter about that shirt. I'm fine. I just need to
Oh
be
yeah, you got it stolen.
Yeah.
yes, I just need to
To
be
be
dramatic about it first, but it's okay because I have the Linköping shirt that G's wearing as well. So, but how does that come about? Did you get given like a list of cities and they go, I need this, and this city? Or do they just go, we need 25 venue specific shirts, 15 of them need to be in the States, 10 of them need to be Europe, go. How does that work?
Um, so uh,
If you can
through
tell
my
us, that is.
well, it's I don't know. Because typically I don't. I'm always careful about what I say because I never know. Like some people are like, you can talk, we don't care. Like we don't care about this, and some people they do care. But I
Mhm.
don't think this is a big. I don't think this is a big secret. Is that first off, um, all as far as I know, I could be wrong. All of the people who are doing Ghost T-shirts are working with Global Merch, which is their merchandise
Mhm.
company. But I'm
Yeah.
working with Kristen, and and she filters that back and forth with Tobias.
Mhm.
And so so I'm working directly with basically with Rick Sell's entertainment group directly
Yeah.
on all this stuff. And from like, as it begins, they start saying, "Hey, FYI, things are moving again." As far as those shirts for the venues, I feel like everyone online thought I was just picking and choosing and making stuff. And I think why a lot of people started thinking that is that um, I found out recently, and it's not a secret. I read about this online, but it's that a lot of these artists that are doing, and I think it's great, but I think a lot of these artists, I found that a lot of these artists that are doing these ghost shirts are actually doing completed designs and sending them to Global Merch, and then it trying to vie to get that through.
Mm.
And so I think because of that, everyone thought I was just like creating artwork and sending it over and like approved. But no, I got a list. I got a
Yeah.
total list. And it made me feel bad because people would say, and if anyone's listening to this that has asked me this question, I kind of just ignore it because I'm not I think it's supposed to be a surprise. No one ever said don't say anything,
Mm.
but it's just like I've been doing this for so long that you just don't talk. You don't talk about
Yeah.
what you're doing, what you didn't do. You don't
Yeah.
show I typically don't show my production art, like the concepts and stuff. Sometimes I did. I did one time on an Instagram story. I showed my concepts of some of my work because someone was trying to call me out for using AI.
Oh
Everyone's,
God.
And
everyone's
uh
doing that in
and I
it.
was
This
thinking
this
they
seems
were
this is a big thing at the moment. It seems to be a thing with ghost artists as well. Like we've noticed it. We have friends who work for Global Merch and have done pieces for Ghost, and we have friends who are independent artists that create their own pieces, and everything they do in every style is stunning. But someone somewhere wants to
Oh,
shout into the void, that it's AI and show your process. And well, you can just tell I love these people that go, you can just tell it's AI.
Can you?
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Can
Someone
you?
tried to, what was that, Gwendolyn? Or Geraldine? Oh my God, I said Gwendolyn. I don't know why that came up.
Oh, don't worry.
Geraldine.
Do you know what? Very quick side note. I'm ADHD, so a side journey's all right. My brother-in-law, who I've now known for like well over half my life, thought my name was Gwendolyn. So his nickname for me is Gwenders. So it's fine. It all links in. So
there we go then. There we go. It's fine.
So I may just start calling you Gwendolyn. It's a great name. Geraldine works also. So,
yeah.
Oh, wait, so where I get sidetracked really easily. So where
Join the club. Join the club. AI. Oh, we were talking. So Pete, you put some of your
AI.
your work on.
Oh yeah, the AI
you're
stuff.
not AI.
So yeah, there was another artist who has a big following, who has a secret AI account, a secret account where he goes around trying to bust other artists for using AI. And he slid in. The thing is that once you start having that conversation, the internet could just run with it and they're not going to listen to, it's the,
I don't even listen
court
to
of, yeah, it's the court of public opinion. And once, all it takes is one person and they're looking for their 15 minutes. So he was going around and busting AI artists, which I'm thinking, come on, dude. I mean, whatever. I don't use AI, but I don't want to be called out for using AI because I have a lot of my contracts that I sign specifically say you will not use AI in that. I think it's great. That's great. But that's kind of becoming a new thing in contracts because
that's really good to hear.
It is. He was going around using this secondary account privately. I think he's probably still doing it. I don't know. And just trying to bust people. And he slid in the comments on one of my pieces, wasn't ghost related, and saying, is this AI human? Meaning asking me because he has this persona, right? And I responded, and I figured out really quick who he was. And because all of us poster artists are all kind of in an inner circle. And it doesn't take very long to know, oh, that's blah, blah, who said that. So I slid in his DMs. I'm like, and I pretended I didn't know who he was. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Don't start this shit. And he goes, I'm just asking a simple question, human. Because he's like this. He's still playing this role. I'm thinking, stop this bullshit, dude. This could hurt my career. And then another poster artist who was much bigger than me, who's done work for Rolling Stones, Taylor Swift, Paul McCartney, slid in and had to defend me because he's like, oh yeah, I know who this is. I'll take care of it because he confirmed, yes, that is who it is, and I'll take care of it. And so he had to slide in the comments and advocate for me. So that is why I don't like the AI conversations because it's AI is ripping the artist off. Of course, it's going to look human.
Yeah.
But to bring it back to Ghost, the initial, because Natalie, you mentioned Ghost artist calling. Oh, you mentioned the first initial tour announcement that this was coming. Yeah. And
caught my eye that bit. I think I put that in your comment. I went, that really caught my eye, that piece of artwork. I was like, oh, this is nice.
So I'll get into the genesis of that, but to bring it around AI, when that got released, it was actually leaked by accident, not by me, by these venues, because these venues will get the art a few days to a week beforehand. They start getting the assets. And so somebody took a very low res copy of it's the movie poster for Cape Fear.
Yeah.
And and so they didn't really leak it. They just posted it coming to our venue in 2025, Ghost. And they showed that. And it was a very low res copy. And I'm thinking, oh man. And
don't do that.
The first people saw it and it looked really bad. It was a very blurry copy. And everyone on because everyone from celebrities to the artists to everyone. I mean, we all go in and read those things, I read some of the most meanest things that people say about my art. And I remember a lot of people were saying, this is obviously fake.
Okay. Oh, no.
And this one, it was on Twitter. And even though
Cesspool. Oh, sorry.
I've, I've abandoned, what'd you say?
Cesspool.
Cesspool.
It is a cesspool, and I still have my
Oh,
account there just so someone doesn't take over Aaron Lee, but I have my profile blacked
mhm.
out because
It's horrible. It's a
I'm
horrible.
on the good side of history, and he
Mhm.
Yeah.
sucks. Everyone associated with our president and him sucks.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, but anyway, I'm sorry. I'm living in a bad place right now, and I'm very
Yeah.
like politically. I read the news I just got through reading the news before I got on here, so.
Oh dear.
Uh,
Dangerous place.
Oh,
Dangerous
don't do that.
Yeah, I
Don't
have a
do
lot
that.
of friends that are at risk, so it's
place.
very upsetting to
You know
me.
they
And
are.
so,
Everywhere. Yeah. Yeah.
so anyway, so I was on Twitter where I saw it, and this woman was saying, "I know AI, and I can tell this is AI because of you can look at the hands or something about the hands." And I was just thinking, lady, maybe I suck at drawing drawing hands because they forget if an
Yeah.
artist has to be so perfect now that if we screw up,
It's AI.
in some ways AI gets the human form much better than we do. Like we make. But here's the thing: is that sometimes AI can be so perfect that like I will sometimes like this hand should not technically do that. If you look at the way I do my fingers, sometimes I bend the tips of the fingers back further than it should go, but it makes it look. And AI never does that,
No.
So those are some of the. It's not like it doesn't look like a
I
real hand.
And also, I mean, it's also about people's length of limbs because years ago, I'm quite old now, but where I used to do art GCSE many, many moons ago, I drew my own hand, and my art teacher was like, "The thumb's out of proportion," and I went, "It's my hand. I have a really long thumb,"
You do have a little thumb.
and I went, "But it's my hand." She went, "Make your." She was just joking. She was like, "Make your thumb look more normal." So I was like, it's everyone's different.
That's it's nothing's worse than having atypical proportions and you model themselves after yourself.
Yeah, and I was like, your thumb's out of proportion. Well, it is in real life as well. So
I was
So my
actually
hands
just
are really long, but I kind of have like sausage fingers. Like
I have
they're just
dinky hands.
I don't
oh,
have.
you have tiny hands.
I don't.
I had tiny hands.
I have very long-limbed fingers. So everyone's different. This is the thing, and you
The
model it
f-
after yourself, and everyone's like, your proportions are wrong. It's like,
one of
This
the one of the funniest pictures I ever took. I don't know if you ever followed wrestling in your life. Um,
no,
but
well, yeah, a little bit, but very
I
like
took a picture with Kevin Nash, the
oh
I
wrestler,
know
god,
that.
oh
and I
yeah.
had him hold his hand up to mine, and he could literally wrap his entire fist around my hand. His hands were that huge.
Oh, he's a huge dude.
Insane.
I didn't know.
Oh, he's
I didn't know American wrestling was watched in the UK.
oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is like the apart from I think the Middle East, we're one of the biggest secondary markets for WWE. It's insane over here.
Really? I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I never
oh,
got
yeah.
into this. I mean, when I was a kid, I was really in like for like a hot minute, I was into Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling, which was a
Yeah,
cartoon.
yeah, yeah.
And,
Which then led into WrestleMania 1. Oh no,
oh,
nerd. I'm
see, I
nerding. Oh
didn't know
no.
that. I just knew like the cartoon version of it and like these
Hmm?
crappy toys that LGN made. And that was about it because I was like, it lasted like 4 months. And I think I was just into it because my friends were into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, back on subject.
Yeah,
The
because I was actually you said about hands. I was just looking because
Looking at the
I
picture.
I have so I'm trying to like keep all of my memories from the Skeletor in one place.
yeah.
Please don't freak out. But this is my Skeletor scrapbook,
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't it good?
and so obviously I had to do a piece about the tour announcement, and there it is.
Oh, you got it without you have the virgin art. Where'd you get that at? Oh, it's probably from my Instagram.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
I love virgin art. I love
this is so
seeing movie
beautiful.
posters. I love seeing movie posters without like the
All the
titles.
writing.
It's just raw. And okay, kids, this is what I rip off on all the ghost stuff. This is the big thing I rip off. And I own it's not the original, but I own a version of this poster as a screen print that they went back to the original artwork and restored back to before William Shatner said make changes to it, and they went back to the original art. But it is and it's sitting over there on my wall, but you can't see it. But is the virgin art to Star Trek: The Motion Picture. And in the original one, Spock was more prominent and William Shatner was lower down in the frame or something. And so the version I have is restores that. But when I was a kid during the Satanic Panic, they used to sell these like tin trash cans that were kind of oval shaped and apparently about like uh I'm not gonna let you guys do the imperial to metric, but about maybe it was like maybe like a foot and a half tall. And
Yeah.
I was of the Star Trek the Motion Picture artwork, and I used to stare at that. So to me, that was always the quintessential movie poster.
Yep.
But I later found out like that artist who did that was Bob Peak. And Bob Peak did like the Apocalypse Now poster. He's done a whole My Fair Lady. He was a very prolific poster artist, but he did Star Trek the Motion Picture, which I used to stare at as a child because I had that trash can of the art on it. And I should buy that one day off of eBay just so I can own it. But if you look at most of the ghost art, you will eventually see seeds of that poster in there because there's a lot of vertical lines coming down, especially with a center of light beam.
Yeah, I like
And most of my stuff, you may not even see it, but I usually put a vertical beam of color to make a weird blend in it. And it's usually just me just redoing Star Trek the Motion Picture, and I do it unconsciously.
like,
But
yeah, it's
yeah, if
just
you look,
part of your DNA now.
yeah, it is. And sometimes it's really apparent, and sometimes it's not apparent, but it's apparent to me
Yeah.
because it just
Yeah.
feels right. So, but back to the tour art that was announced. Yeah, and I know you guys have questions, and if you and I just can keep talking, but
We love
so
it.
feel free to interrupt
That's
me.
fine.
But back to that tour art, it was supposed to be like other than the shirts and the thing I did for the forum in LA where Papa is. In fact, I think that's maybe where it all started.
I
But
love that
besides,
artwork. I love that one.
Yeah, we
it is
love
my
the Kia
favorite.
Forum one.
Because I'm quite particular about my Papa 4 t-shirts because sometimes the face to me isn't bright. I don't like him looking too angry or too old. I like him looking like him, and that one is beautiful. And his
Spot on.
hair. Oh,
Tobias wanted him to look angry.
he is angry, but he's not too angry.
Yeah, but he became such a lovable figure
Yeah.
as the
Yeah.
show as the
It's
character progressed. He became
hair. Oh,
so
the hair's
yeah. I love that,
Beautiful. I love that.
and it was my favorite. And
love that.
so, but usually not counting the shirts and not counting the forum one. Usually it's Tobias saying, "I want this,"
Yeah.
and so when we did the uh we did that. It was definitely the Cape Fear reference, and I was like, as soon as I saw, I was like, oh yeah, I'm a big Scorsese fan. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, we're good.
Right. Leave it with
I
me.
know exactly what you want to do. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I enjoyed that. I still don't fully understand. You know, I don't understand the thinking behind any of it. I have heard theories about what all this means, and I don't know why I never just ask.
I
Like
think
why am I doing?
he
I
just
just
likes it. I think personally.
Because Tobias doesn't know.
No. Yeah.
no, I actually I'm gonna say I think it's all in his head, and meaning that he does have a plan, and
Oh yeah.
I think it's a definite plan. But sometimes I'm too busy to go back and forth to just ask, what does
Yeah.
this mean?
Why are we doing it this way?
Yeah, why would it? But I have heard some great theories about why it's all in the water. And I'm not
Yeah.
confirming this as true because I don't know
Don't
myself,
know.
but this one theory is so rock solid. Is the tour is called, and maybe you guys have heard this theory. The tour is called Skeletor.
Mhm.
It's the He-Man villain, right?
Oh yeah, we love Skeletor.
Right. Did you ever see Frank Langella Skeletor in Masters
Yes.
of the Universe, the live action?
Yes.
The
Yes.
post the post credit scene is Skeletor coming out of the water, this head, and he
Yes.
goes, I'll be back or something like that. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I think that's
That
this
seems
has been the
pretty.
plan all along.
Yeah. Back
And
to
I think this was all, I don't know. I'm just telling you what the fans have said. And I
that one
think
does
that's what
feel
it is.
pretty on the nose, doesn't it?
It feels very on the nose. I think it's brilliant. And people were asking me, is this what it means? If I did know for a fact, I wouldn't confirm it. I just don't talk about it. And I'm like, because that's not it. That's not my job. I don't know. I just don't want to do that. And
Yeah.
uh,
Actually,
that's why I keep pausing with everything because I'm trying to figure out like, can I say this?
yeah.
It's not like they sit here and they're like reviewing my stuff. It's just like my personal
Yeah.
work ethics.
No, we get that.
Personal
We get
compass.
that.
No, we totally understand that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
I get it. It's a
um,
side reference, like where I talk to other clients about clients. I'm very careful what I say because of
Mm.
personal information and all the rest of it.
oh yeah.
But
So,
where you have like, don't worry, I've had someone else who's dealt with this. It's all good.
Yeah, and the
you've got to think it
industry that I
through.
work in, we're very much the rules of the data sets and things that I work with, we are very much under
oh, what do you do
real
now?
strict.
What
I
industry?
work in the energy industry, so I have.
Oh, you have to be. You shut that
Oh
grid
yeah,
down, we're all screwed. Okay.
Yeah, she's. They
be
don't go
nice to me.
to me.
No, but no, I work with customers, so I'm frontline. I'm like customer support and that kind of thing. So I deal with a lot of people's personal details on a daily basis. So yeah,
Yeah.
having to
We totally understand the
yeah,
moment
we're good.
of, can I say this? Can I not say this? I could
Can I say
Shall I embarrass myself?
Yeah. Let's
always?
do it.
Okay, I'll talk. So I like to draw. Thanks to Ghost, I actually found my creativity again. I talked about
Oh,
it on the
so
book
good.
bangers.
That's
Um,
good.
and look, so I'm the youngest of four kids. Like my sister can draw. She's one of those who does a little scribble, and I'm like, ugh. And she's like, can you do this? I'm like, oh, yes. So I always thought I wasn't very good at art, but I just wasn't Sarah good at art. But I found digital art thanks to Ghost. I did like somebody did like prompts, and I started doing drawings. I've now found myself in the world of chibis, the little cute characters.
Are these the things that look like evil bunnies?
No, no, that's Labubus.
Oh, okay.
Mine are differently.
Oh, la boo boo.
No, I take some of the Ghost characters and I make them like little cartoons. And
Mhm.
I'm currently working on one that's referenced off yours. I was going to finish more of it, but my Apple Pencil needs a new nib, which I have to wait for. But oh god, Jordan, I'm working on
Oh my
him.
God, it is adorable. Oh, it's the photo. It's so cute. I know these characters. I know the art style. So that's so
Oh,
cute.
that reaction was
Reaction,
precious.
thank
Oh, I
you.
love that.
Yeah.
He fell over. I was so excited. So yeah, I'm working on a little chibi of that one because I was like, I just have to. I just have to. So
That my reaction. I have this thing like I I'm
strong.
6'4" and I'm tall. I'm so tall.
That would actually
And
make me
Small
feel
bean.
strong. I'm
You're
five foot
small
eight.
bean.
Not very often that I'm made to feel small, so that would be amazing.
you're 5'9".
5'8", 5'8".
Oh, 5'8". To me that's a great height. And because I can like talk to people. I was at a well, I'm
I
not
am a
gonna say
midget.
how tall are you?
I'm
I'm
five
not.
foot five and a half. I'm a
5 foot
midget.
5.5.
Yeah, the
Most
half is really important. Thanks.
so this is my personal life I'm about to bring up. I'm single, and so I am always on dating apps, and I feel like most women are 5'5" or between 5'3" to 5'5".
Yeah.
So you are a
We
very,
are
at least
tiny,
there in the
tiny.
States, that is a very normal height for women. So um
I just wear big
we're
shoes.
talking about like the
Chibi.
reaction that I did to the chibi versions is that I my friends have said like you can be very intimidating when people see you coming, but when you open your because they see this tall guy with
Oh,
tattoos,
yeah. Yeah.
and then it's like but you open your mouth and like oh he's not a threat because I say stuff like oh that's adorable.
So cute. It's like it's Labrador energy. It's like,
I think I
Yes.
think
golden
anybody that,
retriever.
that I think anybody that thought you were a threat about anything should have just watched that video of you at the horror convention getting ridiculously excited and knowing that you're
What
good
was I
people.
saying? Oh, about the zombie?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm learning about
Speaking.
horror movies thanks to Natalie. That is one of our other podcast series under For the Love of Ghosts, because obviously a lot of Ghost is inspired by horror movies. So
Oh, 100% it
I've never
is.
really watched a lot of horror movies, so I'm learning about them with Natalie. So, you can always come on the horror podcast with us as well.
So
Well, I
of the
think we
movies,
need to do Halloween because your art for Halloween is fucking stunning.
oh,
The
I love
one
that art.
of Michael's face with all of the kids
Ooh.
laid out over it is just mwah. Oh,
So that was a licensed piece I did for the 45th anniversary for Halloween, and
mm,
I'm hoping the people I did it with no longer have the Halloween license because licenses are all fleeting.
yeah.
Everyone gets a new license. But I want to do for the 50th, I want to do it of Jamie Lee Curtis's face and have all the survivors from the
Oh,
film.
Yes.
so cool.
So
Yes.
that is that's where I want to go. So I think that was done. I think I've got like 3 years to start working on this to
And
have it ready.
did I just see when you lifted your arm up, you have
Oh,
the Shining,
okay. Well, the
the
Shining
carpet from the
carpet.
Shining, and
Oh,
then
boom.
Yeah, the Shining carpet runs all throughout up here, all in
nice.
between all the stuff. And there's
Oh,
Mike Myers right there. And then
that.
and then I got Vampira. She was like a 1950s. If you ever
Yes.
saw Ed Wood, that's
Yes.
Vampira. So like I'm covered with like classics, so
I just have my balloon from
from the
Stephen King's
It.
It.
Can I
Yeah.
show
Which
my
one? The
shining
TV
twins?
version or the movie version?
This
Oh.
is from the TV version. Thank you very much.
Oh,
I am don't get me wrong, I love the new movies. I think Bill Skarsgård did an incredible job
he's
as
fantastic.
Pennywise. But
Yeah.
my Pennywise, the Pennywise that scared the shit out of me as a child, and you have to think that in 1990 I was 11. So I was prime age for that. Like I was the same age as the kids in the
Yeah. I
movie, roughly the same age as the kids.
think I was in high
Um,
school.
for that to be, that was, yeah. Tim Curry is my Pennywise, and
Oh,
is just,
Tim Curry is just phenomenal as an
and
actor.
I consider myself very lucky and very grateful now through the love of horror that I have and the fact that I do go and do a lot of conventions and I've worked a lot of conventions and I've gone as just an attendee that I am now friends with a lot of the kids from the 1990 cast.
oh,
So
really?
yeah,
One
yeah.
of them
So
died, didn't he? The
Jonathan Brandis passed. Yeah,
Yeah,
he took
that
his
was
own
sad.
life a few
That was
years ago. Yeah,
shocking.
yeah.
Oh.
So, and I felt like I remember hearing he had just had a lot of career problems as he got up old, which is a thing.
Mm.
I think that the thing in the industry, especially with kid actors and especially with young male actors, when they are and let's not beat around the bush here, Jonathan Brandis was a beautiful child. He was a beautiful boy.
Yeah.
And I think as he aged up and out of kid roles, he wasn't I don't think he was being taken seriously in the industry. I don't think people looked at him and went, oh yeah, that he doesn't really have the acting chops or anything, whatever. But if you go back and you look at those early roles, especially him in It, he's got he had chops, man. He was good. He could have
He
had a
was no,
massive
he played
career if he'd been given
Richie,
the right
didn't he?
parts. He
Was he
was, yeah, he
Richie?
was
He had
Richie.
he had
Yeah.
the stutter, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Beep beep Richie. Yeah. I'm a
Mm.
big Stephen King fan. Like the
Me
reading of the
too.
books.
Yeah.
So
Me too. Me
I'm
too.
Stephen King,
Massive.
but I'm more of a Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption Stephen King.
he is such a versatile writer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
But those were
yeah,
horror stories into themselves, like,
Oh yeah.
believe the goodness of a man.
because they're real.
Yeah.
They're real. Well, okay, Green Mile's not real, but
It's
you know what
that
I'm saying? But like
element of the belief of someone being, because he was big, bulky, and black, and of that
an
era,
unjust product
they automatically
of
like
that
it
time
must have
period.
been him, must have been
Yeah.
him,
That's
Yeah.
horrible.
And then you
Um,
find out that he wasn't the killer at all. It was
No.
an average looking white guy.
Yeah, shock horror.
you guys should be scared of us.
Yeah.
We are the problem.
But you've also done sort of,
Can I just, while we're still here, shall I show my silly one I did of the Shining twins?
yes.
Why don't you show us all your art? Do you have an Instagram?
I did this is Richie and Richie. So I did the twins because this Richie is one of our friends in Ghost. He does a lot of podcasting himself. And this is the security guard from Ghost, the one who's at all the venues. And I did them as the Shining twins.
That's the same. They have the same security guard for all of them.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Richie's been with them for a long
For
time.
years, yeah, yeah.
So I did a couple of like chibi ones for the behind the scenes people. So I did ones for Vanessa who did the Gallbangers. Um,
Yeah, I talked to Vanessa in New York, like after the
Because
show.
you were at MSG.
you're at MSG. We're going to
Yeah,
Damn.
it
talk about that.
was.
So I did Vanessa and her cameraman, but I also did
Oh, can
a
you hold it up? Because the
yeah,
camera just switched over to
Claire.
you.
Oh, that's very rude of it. There you go.
Oh, it's so cute. What does it say? It's
GTV.
what is below it?
What have we got? Crucifix Television.
So,
And then, but I did one of Richie as the security guard. There he is. There's Crucifix Security. I did because I always think the behind the scenes people need to be. The light in here is not the best, but I did. And he does not have a ghost tattoo. I wrote that in the thing. I went, I just know he's got tattoos, but I don't know what they are. So I just joked and put ghost on his arm. The amount of people then came and went, does he have that? No, read the caption. It's like,
has Richie and Vanessa seen those?
yeah, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah,
So,
it was really cool.
I,
Richie we saw in Lynchping actually, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah.
after the show, I talked to Vanessa, and you know, I felt bad because I was interrupting another conversation he was having someone, but like I wanted to go home. And well, we didn't
I'm
go
tired
home. Me and my nephew went. We were looking for like he wanted to go find karaoke, so we hit Koreatown and we stayed out to like
Nice.
Nice.
we didn't find any good karaoke because it was all private booth karaoke. But we were
yeah.
looking for, like,
We're
we wanted to
having
see-
that problem here. Every time we go out, we're
I
like,
love
"Come-
it,
let's go
karaoke.
find someone do karaoke. And it's all these little,
Gotta pay
spend
for
this
yeah.
ridiculous amount of money for half an hour and you get,
Yeah.
half a song each.
I think it's great. I think those little booths are great. I've never been. The only thing I know about them about those booths is from the movie Lost in Translation.
Mhm.
And because they do that, I'm like, oh, that's cool. But I've only sang karaoke twice. Anyway, I've only sang karaoke. Anyway, so I talked to Vanessa, and I just walked up to her like after the show, and I said, hey, I wanted to tell you that uh, I watched all of your videos as my way of being able to see my artwork in other countries that I couldn't go to.
So cool.
And as I'm telling her this, her friend goes, oh.
Oh.
But it was true. And also, like, you know, I sometimes was wondering, like, did they get it in time? Were they able to mass produce these shirts in time before I got it out there? I just, and I was also looking at all the Instagram and the GTV videos to make sure that it actually got out
Mhm,
and
mhm.
turned into, because once I send off, it gets approved. I don't know. And because I mean, just with my job in general, like I'll do things that I get paid for it and it never gets produced. And it's
Mhm,
just,
mhm.
maybe it gets produced years down the road.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really nice telling her that because that's how I always knew if it was,
That's so cool. I
especially
love
that
those connections, even like, because it's just such a separate thing, but finding it within the at a ghost ritual, being able to talk to her about that, it just
yeah,
all
yeah.
these
So
pathways lead back to each other. How
I
did it
tell
Where's the
you,
craziest?
go ahead.
We're really good at this, me and G. We're like, go on, Geraldine.
I think when you were out Madison Square Garden, what does it feel like seeing your artwork?
That's what I was going to ask.
Oh,
Same brain cell.
Same brain cell.
it was pretty amazing, but I will say it was more amazing. If I was to compare the experience, I would say seeing it at the Forum in LA, the
Oh
Papa
wow,
holding
yeah.
up was a bigger deal for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to go in this direction. My parents had just died,
Oh.
both of
Mhm.
them within days of each other. It was
Wow.
bad, right? And I remember like my mom, I remember my mom one time said something like, Aaron, just nobody ever appreciates your art. She didn't say it like that. She was very loving. It just always makes me sad that you've basically been grinding so long. And it took me a while to get where I'm at because I had some bad setbacks of
Mm.
some bad things that happened earlier on in my 20s and 30s. And so I had to like basically check out. It's not to be, it's not a secret. My son, I have a son who's very disabled, right? And I had to stop what I was doing,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
and I was just basically trying to keep him alive. And he's doing great. He's doing great. He's living his best life. But it slowed me down career-wise. And I remember I started back up really hitting it hard because I was already doing art and design and working at ad agencies, but I was really just following that paycheck, following just trying to keep just being the family guy
Yeah.
or the family man, trying to like support my kids and stuff. And so and just being a young person with a disabled child and no money from a very poor family. So I had no, and very loving family, but a very, very poor family. And so I didn't have like any support other than love. We had that. That was cheap.
Abundance.
Obviously, it's not cheap because people really don't want to give that away.
No,
But,
they don't.
but I remember one of the last things I remember the conversations I had with my mom as my career started rebounding and so I was like grinding really hard is that she remember her saying that it was it makes me so it made me so sad to see how hard you tried and you didn't get anywhere, and it makes me so happy that I'm starting to see all those decades of you working and just having to divide your time with your career, and it's finally starting to get recognized.
Mm.
And then, so she says that to me maybe a year or 2 years before she dies. This is probably before I started. I think it was like right as I was working for Ghost, and I didn't even talk to her about Ghost because of the satanic imagery. It would have bothered her, or as she calls, all that dark imagery on your arms, Aaron. So
Oh,
I
that's
love my mom.
sweet. All that dark imagery.
So I get to the Forum show. It's out in LA. It's in Inglewood, but I go to the LA show and I did not know this was going to happen. And it pulls out, my Uber pulls in and I get out and all around like on three different sides of the Forum was my artwork. And it
Mm-hmm.
took my breath away. And I almost start crying because, my mom just died, my mom and dad just died. And I just kept saying, gosh, damn it. I wish she could have seen this.
Mm-hmm.
It bothers
Mm.
me so much. And then my dad, who, like I said, he died two or three. I mean, typical one parent goes, the other parent
Like
dies of a
follows.
broken.
Yeah.
His health sucked, by
Yeah.
the way. So I mean, we thought he was going to die 5 years ago. So this was just it. Like, I'm out of I'm checking out. So, and then to topple that is that my dad knew how bad I wanted to be a comic book artist when I was much younger. I still would like to do more comic work, but it's just not where I'm at right now. But I had my first comic book cover come out. Like I got the job and the cover came out like months after his death. And it bothers me that I can never say, "Hey dad, here's the fucking comic you kept wanting
Yeah.
me to finally do." It was an Archie comic. And then I wanted my mom to see that art on the side of the Forum, but I couldn't. And that happened in the same year.
Oh,
2022 sucked. Anyway, so we had so many deaths in my family too that year. And it reminded me of the band Arcade Fire. Their first album was called Funeral,
Mm-hmm.
because all of the members of that band kept having family members and friends dying while they were making this album, that they just said, we're calling this thing Funeral because we went to so many. And but as far as the Madison Square Garden goes, that was a whole new different experience for me because when I was younger, I was in a band, and I'm still I'm a closeted musician first, really mainly, like I grew up in a small town in East Texas that had a very oddly high number of really good local bands.
Mm.
Um, and I have a friend who I talk to every day. To this day, I've known him since I was a teenager. And his mom and my mom used to teach Sunday school together. And his name, yeah, so my mom and his mom are friends. And then just small town, we both took guitar lessons from the same teacher, which really taught us more about how music theory is made and stuff, all that good stuff. But he went on to become Madonna's guitarist.
Oh wow.
wow.
Yeah, and now he's currently playing. I mean, he's been Madonna's guitarist since 2000. 2001. No, it was before 9/11. So it was like 1999 and 2000. And and then he goes on to ministry. And so he's playing with ministry currently. And but where was I going with this? I was thinking about the music. Oh yeah. So but I grew up just in such a musical environment and the being in bands. And I used to, I just kept, I was in bands. We just always wanted to get signed and stuff. And I was so just encapsulated by the recording process, but as well as like record production is so good. I love good record production, but also the concept of touring. And I'm sure some of this was like ego fueled because you're a teenager and like, I want to be famous. But I was I'm not really, I still respect them a lot and I still listen to them occasionally, but I'm kind of out of it. But the Led Zeppelin movie, the song remains the same.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys ever saw it. It's amazing, but it's part concert footage and part just artistic video montages in
Yes.
between. And there's like little side stories with each member. But the main crutch is their performance at Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being a teenager watching that and just like, oh my God, Jimmy Page is just amazing. All John Bonham, John Paul Jones, Robert Plant, they're just so amazing. But the thing that I just really, besides all like I didn't really care about the weird video montages of like not Lord of the Rings footage, what it felt like, but and it wasn't just this amazing performance at the Madison Square Garden. It was the backstage of them just walking around Madison Square Garden in the underbelly with the
Mhm.
concrete walls and the freight elevators.
Yep.
Be able to walk in that area and see. I've never been to Madison Square Garden. And the first time I walked into Madison Square Garden was not through the front doors. It was through those same fucking hallways that Led Zeppelin walked through. And I was like,
I
oh
bet that
my
was so surreal.
it was and it's ugly as fuck down there, you know.
Most
And
places are.
it was great. It was that, and to me, the best part about that entire there was the standouts of the Madison Square Garden show was seeing the concrete walls that were the same concrete walls that I saw. If I'm remembering correctly, I haven't watched the movie, but I just remember I definitely remember the concrete walls from that movie from somewhere. Maybe I've seen photos. I don't know, but
Yep.
seeing and walking through the concrete tunnels. It's not really a tunnel, they're just hallways, but tunnels of Madison Square Garden. And all throughout, I don't know if you've ever, there's this process where they will take artwork and they will melt it onto concrete and then they
Yes.
remove it. I guess it's able to remove it. And I'm walking around and the Skeletor art is all over the floors and the walls backstage. Like I didn't go backstage, but I was like, we went through a different entrance. And so it was like, oh my God, I'm where they shot The Song Remains the Same, like I saw in high school. These are the same walls that like Jimmy Page walked through or walked through probably because he was an occultist. But also, and my artwork is on these same, I mean, those walls may not be the same. They may have put up new walls, but it's in my head, like these are the same walls from that documentary and my art's on that. It was a very great moment as just being a huge
Mm.
music fan. The second best part of the night was Ozzy's death really has affected me more than I thought it would.
Yes.
Like
Same. Same.
Mm-hmm.
I I did not think Ozzy dying would have bothered me as bad as it did. I wasn't a huge everyone loves Ozzy.
Yes.
Everyone loved oh no, I'm not sure everyone does, but I mean, and everyone finds him endearing in his just
Bumbling way.
not ready for television self because he's just being his true, I guess he's being his true self. And but his death just and I'm like I'm at my hotel. I'm a block away, or maybe no, maybe I'm like a 5 minute, 10 minute walk from Madison Square Garden, and I'm at my
Mm.
hotel and I'm getting ready, and I just see this. I'm not cracking up. I'm just my voice actually was literally just clogged just then. I'm not. not losing it here. But I was getting ready. I'm like shaving. I'm brushing my teeth, and I look over, and my phone does a little, you know, you get a notification, and I see the words Ozzy Osbourne, and I'm like, oh god.
Oh God, no.
I don't even have to read it. I saw the words Ozzy, and if I'm getting a notification on my phone, I'm like, oh no. And it just made me so glad that he had that back to the beginning show. And so, but we go to it, and we go to the show. It's fantastic, but Tobias in the middle does that. I don't know who wrote. I don't know if that was his words or someone else's words, or you know, I don't know. It doesn't matter because it was beautiful about for someone to be the Prince of Darkness. He brought a lot of light.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so amazing. What they don't show in the audience from the Ghoul Vision, or I'm sorry, GTV, was everyone was doing this and chanting Ozzy.
Oh,
it was amazing. It was, and
every
sharing,
episode somebody gets me.
yeah, it was so good, and it was just there was so much love, and then also, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to make you cry.
Oh no, she's fine. It's normal.
So
every episode somebody gets me.
Well, I'm glad that we're on brand here, you know.
Yeah,
so,
on brand, yeah, sorted.
But it was such a beautiful moment. It was
Yeah.
great, and it makes me hope that I'm really big into lineage. Like, understand where things came from. You don't have to like it.
No.
You don't have to like it, but at least respect the lineage. And if it was just some
Absolutely.
kids who were like, I don't know who this guy is, and they just said, maybe I should respect the lineage. I may not like whatever.
Yeah.
But if they check it out, I think that's awesome. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
and I think one thing that, like, I feel like a lot of my interest in music interests, like, I understand a lot of the references that Tobias likes. Like, I get Obituary, the band Obituary, and I get all these other early 80s bands because they're all Satanic Panic metal bands, you know? And so, but I know that a lot of the newer fans don't know that lineage, and nothing's wrong with that. You can't always know the lineage of things. Sometimes you just like the things you like, but the exposure that it may not, but that if some kid or maybe some older adult says, hey, okay, yeah. So
I wasn't I knew of Ozzy, obviously, but I knew more Sharon and stuff from like X Factor and crap like that from, you know. And so actually, I was like, I felt really actually annoyed with myself that I didn't learn more about him while he was still alive, you know. And I was like listening to the songs, and you're like, oh, I can really hear it. How much of a forefront he was. I didn't actually realize he was closer in age to my dad. You know, I didn't realize he was that old.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot and listened more and can see how he paved the way for others.
He was the boogeyman in my upbringing. Because I said, you know, my parents were very religious.
It's awesome.
And so, you know, he was such the poster child of, they're coming to get your kids. Like, no, I'm not, but I'm this.
End of part 1. Part 2 coming soon. See you soon for more Skelly Tales. If you'd like to share your Skelly Tales on an episode, send an email to us on talesfromtheskeletour@gmail.com.